trip, dude, today. Just live. Farm's back.
Back to break down some what we're seeing in the NFL. We want to jump on here every week and talk a little bit talk a little football, talk a little strategy, what
Yeah.
we're seeing, what we're doing, what we're trying to win.
Yeah, we're outside again. This is again this production is we call this F tier production, baby. It's just
Bootstrap.
yeah.
It's bootstrap. I mean we're gonna be out here.
Don't overinvest in all of it right now. I mean, again, is that lazy to say?
No.
No, it feels a little lazy, but
No, we want to talk a little bit. What we watched the Hall of Fame game.
yeah, that's a fun game.
People were just lamenting about Carson Beck being something. And he threw his best pass was a hospital ball.
Yeah, the pass that everyone was like, "Oh man, is this part?" It's like it's just not a good pass. I mean, maybe he could be good. I mean, like
They were like he doesn't have a doodle arm anymore. Like, dude, that pass. First
So,
of all, that
he-
pass is not gonna work.
I do think if he he's a decent processor. I do think he's not like a horrible quarterback. I just feel like I don't think the physical stuff is there. Like it doesn't have the arm. Poor guy though, looks like a sloth. He looks like Sid, and you feel bad for him somewhat. But yeah,
Dude,
he's out
honestly, he's getting play because he's a NFL quarterback and he did the same thing in Miami. You know what I mean? It's just he's a guy, and he's a guy like if you told me Carson Beck has the Jacoby Brissett arc where he's kind of a career backup and then maybe gets a role as a starter.
That'd be a win, I think. If he has a Jacoby Brissett arc, that's a win outcome for Carson.
That's what I
Wentz.
mean, but that's in the realm of possibility.
Dude, who was the guy? Remember Josh Rosen, UCLA? Did he play for UCLA?
Yeah.
I think he was UCLA. Remember he kind of he was like a top 4 pick. He went to Arizona, I want to say, and then kind of fizzled out. You have a lot of those guys. Sam Darnold was in that class, I believe, as well, and sucked at first, but he got put in the Jet situation horrible, and then
What's
came
funny
to-
is the Panthers ultimately came and we got Bryce Young who's fine, but then we had Darnold there, it didn't work, and we had
Yeah.
Baker there, it didn't work.
Yeah.
He's like, man, well, Baker and Darnold were both competent quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Honestly, would you take either of them over Bryce Young right now,
Baker or Darnold.
or both?
So that's really tough, man. Baker was on the Panthers, and he didn't do much on the Panthers. I think, to me, I think there's a little bit of upside left in Bryce Young. I think we've seen progression year over year. Baker's a gunslinger. You know what you're gonna get, but I don't think Dave Canales did coach up Baker, right? Dave Canales had. It's just Baker when he played for the Panthers, we never have much of a receiver. Baker needs some. He needs some alphas to throw to.
Let's be honest. Bryce Young's upside. I think Dave Canales is better as a running backs coach. He's going to coach up the
But
RB
didn't he
backs
coach up? He coached up Baker Mayfield.
a little bit, right? But it's mostly Liam Cohen in that where Baker really had his
Yeah.
best upside there, right? And that's why everyone's high on Lawrence. And
Yeah, I mean, you could have the D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart backfield with Brooks and Chuba Hubbard. And honestly, I think the way we win, the Panthers go into this season and win games. And if we win 8 to 10 games this season, it's because we play good defense.
Yeah.
We have a top 5 cornerback in J.C. Horn. And
Yeah.
we just, run the ball really well. And Ted McMillan, obviously, I think Xavier Legette will play a role now, given Bazell is out for the season. And I think, obviously, Jalen Coker, I think probably, he could end up being to me is a best. He's the best ball pick for the Panthers. I want to say. I think even over Jonathan Brooks, because I do think even in an outcome that Brooks is healthy and is back, I think there's still a 50-50 split. At best case scenario for Brooks is 50-50, but you're not going to see that throughout the season. There will be games. I think Brooks could have games like Rico Dowdle, but there's not going to be enough of that to consistently wise. I think Jalen Coker is going to be a pretty consistent.
yeah, this isn't. But to compare Brooks to Dowdle is wrong, mostly because of the way they played.
Yeah.
Dowdle's is
Bruiser.
a helmet smasher, where Brooks is an explosive.
He was one of the best patch catching backs in the. When
and
he played
he's
for,
a guy where man, Jonathan Brooks, if you tell me he gets 10 to 12 touches a game, he's gonna be valuable in best
He
ball.
played for Texas.
Texas.
Was Jaden Blue there?
Bijan was there.
I thought Jaden Blue was there. I think Bijan left, then Brooks took over, and then Jaden Blue was behind.
Yeah,
Brooks.
well, Brooks was never really like that
He was-
full time.
No, because
but
he was hurt.
But he was good though. He was
He,
definitely good.
he also played with Jatavian Sanders, who I thought was going to be something in the NFL, just turned into dust. Mitchell Evans, is he hurt still? Do you know?
Yeah, and this is the thing. I'm gonna talk a little news. So we saw Luther Burden went down in practice.
I think it's fine.
He's gonna be fine, but this is the perfect time if you're drafting best ball, and this is what I
Draft
love to do. Whenever guys get hurt and there's some uncertainty, I love to do a draft and just start drafting that guy because his ADP falls.
Yeah.
It's Burden's gonna fall until there's confirmation he's fine. He's definitely gonna be fine. It looks like, but it's just the best time to draft him when there's so much uncertainty there.
Yeah.
But we really want to talk today, who do we think are some guys we were high on that we're lower on now, and who are we higher on today? And I want to start with my first guy. as a guy I wasn't drafting as much in underdog, always in DraftKings a little bit in their best ball format. But a guy that I do think, and we talked a little bit, it could be wide receiver 1, and that's Zay Flowers. I think there's so much upside for him, and touchdowns are pretty unpredictable. But I think this year, I just think his path to scoring, he does have a path this year to be wide receiver 1. And part of the reason is, Lamar Jackson's not the best thrower of the ball, and we can say the same about Josh Allen, but I think Lamar is going to run this year, and the shifty nature of Zay Flowers is so fun. And he's going to get 7 to 10 targets a game pretty consistently as long as he's healthy.
The X factor for me in that offense is the new OC, or not the new OC, the new head coach, because John Harbaugh, he's a win games, grind it out type of guy. He just run Derrick Henry into the ground. You know what I'm saying, Dylan? So for me, it's the unknown of and the talent. Zay Flowers coming out of Boston College, obviously, he's looked great. He has a report, and there's no other receiver there really. It's Bateman, Elijah Schrott.
The guy that was kind of popping in preseason, everyone has a guy.
Jacoby Lane.
Jacoby Lane, but are we sure Jacoby Lane's going to get work?
That's a perfect example, Dylan. It's Zay Flowers and essentially no one else, and Dusty Mark Andrews is the number 2. I like Mark Andrews a little bit, but Zay Flowers is there's a path to Zay Flowers producing receiver 1 out. He did great last season too. I'm targeting him heavy. I'm doing those big dog drafts. I'm in a big dog draft now, which is the 500 ticket on underdog. So it's a fun tournament. Zay Flowers is my number 2 overall pick. I passed on Nico Collins. I passed on Jeremiah Love, and I started Puka Nacua, Zay Flowers, and I think some people could disparage that, but I went Puka Nacua, Zay Flowers, Emeka Buka. I love the receiver start there, and then and then I'm also going and then I went David Montgomery as my RB1, and this is a guy that will lead into that. David Montgomery is such a my guy now. If you look at my best ball mania, I finished drafting 3 weeks ago, so I don't have teams left. And I started to move heavily onto Montgomery late, mainly in underdog formats. He's one of the top guys to score 12 touchdowns this season. We're high in the Houston offense. I think Houston's could be great this season. They got to fly. Shoot. I'm really high on the Houston offense this season, and I feel
which is funny, kind of oxymoron, because you just said you passed on Nico, which is fine.
No, what I mean is I'm high on Houston as a team because their defense is so good, and that favors David Montgomery. So I just feel Houston's gonna be able to grind out games, and what they're gonna do is just lean heavily into Montgomery, and his best role is getting 20 touches a game. Is he could average a touchdown a game. I mean, it's not gonna be that heavy, but he's gonna have multiple weeks where he has multi touchdowns. And he's the guy that they're not gonna put Woody Marks in on first thing. He's all Woody Marks will come in and spell him some, give him a breather, and Woody Marks could have 10 to 12 touches a game. But
it's likely that Woody Marks is their third down guy and maybe 2-minute drill guy potentially.
Yeah.
But that leaves me. I want to stay in that same team. A guy I wasn't high on to start the season as much as Jaden Higgins is a guy that I'm getting so much of late. I think Jaden Higgins could likely score 10 touchdowns this year.
I like him.
Just where he's going, I'm getting him a wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6 in that range in best ball. It's just I love him as a pick because you mentioned I think Houston's going to have a lot of opportunity to have their offense on the field, mostly because their defense is so good. So it's not so much I believe in C.J. Stroud, but as a back stack, and I have this on my big 555 ticket on the best ball on DraftKings, is I had the C.J. Stroud, I had the Jaden Higgins, I had the Dalton Schultz, kind of that mini stack you're going to get really late that people won't have up.
That's what I'll do in my big dog too. Is I'll get Higgins and I'll probably do Stroud as a QB3. I like QB3s, especially in the high dollar stuff, because you get more advance rate. It's easier to advance with 3 quarterbacks, and I do think it's a little safer, right? You could get an injury at quarterback. You want 3 quarterbacks. You don't want to be going into the season shit, now I have 2 quarterbacks. Oh, now this guy's hurt. I have 1 quarterback, and now I'm going to not score quarterback 1 week. That's going to suck. So I like the Houston offense a lot. What I probably will do, and this is, I'm going to draw a parallel here for you, Dylan. It's Ted McMillan feels like Nico Collins in an offense. It's those guys are very similar. It's the offense is not going to be an air raid offense. So I think I like getting the receiver 2s. They're way down the draft board. If those guys played for a Joe Burrow or a Baker Mayfield, where he's just gonna gunsling and he's gonna throw for 400 yards, but the C.J. Stroud offense is not. C.J. Stroud's not gonna throw for that many yards.
What I like about C.J. Stroud, and maybe it would hurt Montgomery, but maybe not. I think C.J. Stroud does have a better season than he had. Maybe not quite his rookie season.
His rookie season was phenomenal.
But maybe not quite his rookie season, but maybe a little bit better than that. I think what you see this year is actually C.J. Stroud having the ability to run a little bit. Yeah. He showed a little bit of that, so he can definitely scamper if he needs to.
He was a little thick coming into camp. I saw him walking there. Is that an offensive lineman? He's not that big. I mean, those guys get padded up. I do think the Houston offense and the Houston team benefits the run game. It just will.
Yeah.
Higgins is the way he's going in draft is at cost. I was drafting some Nico Collins, but at cost is kind of like Higgins better, to be honest with you. How my boys looking in golf?
Tom can put a 10 feet, missed it for a birdie streak. Fine. Corbin's got 20 feet, so maybe a chance there. But Corbin's on the par 5. I mean, Kim on the par 5 now. Remember, he gets it. We got a major golf sweat this week. We'll jump back on tomorrow and see if we can victory lap.
I'll be in St. Louis, but hopefully it'll be.
Yeah, we'll jump in and chat.
I'll be digging in some ribs.
Yeah, eating some beef ribs to celebrate. But yeah, I want to hear. So now, give me some guys that maybe you were high on in the beginning, early stages of best ball drafts that you kind of dial back on. I have a couple of guys.
Okay, you go first. I'm gonna brainstorm.
One guy a guy was, had maybe 40% of until maybe a month ago was Bill Crosby. Just because of where he was falling, I think there's still some explosives in his game, but the problem is it really looks like he's going to be a between the 20s guy. You're not going to see him much on the goal line. He's not going to work in pass down situations with Rashad White there. So I just feel like, and Rashad White is going above him now, so maybe it's still time to get enough Bill. But I have so much Bill that I just don't think it's actually worth getting him. I just think with Jaden Daniels there, who's going to steal some touchdowns, obviously, running, I just think I'm kind of low on Bill because unless he hits that explosive, you're not going to want him. But I'm talking on both sides of my mouth, but there's still some value there because there's uncertainty of who's going to get the most carries in that backfield.
It's going to be split up. You have Jaden Daniels who rush in. I like Rashad White to pass it.
And part of the reason I'm sour on them is so the Commanders are Washington. They do have a hard schedule. On top of that, play in a division where I think Dallas is going to take a step forward on defense. We know the Giants' defense is good. We know the Eagles' defense is going to be good. So that's just going to, those are 6 games a year. They could struggle a little bit in. So that's a little bit of my concern. A guy definitely dropped down the board for me after starting out hot.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy we've talked about just at the top, and I think this is not so much as like the injury concern. It's just like where he's going, like how much he's got pushed up is Luther Burden. Like I like him. Don't get me wrong, but like I think I prefer Loveland straight up over him, and Rome goes like around later. So like I'm not finding myself early on in the drafts. I was reaching for Burden. I was getting a lot of Burden. I do like him still,
and definitely with a preference on DraftKings.
Yeah, with but just on Underdog, it's like I think I don't know how many there's a path for 8 to 10 touchdowns, but I think more of a PPR guy, and I think he will have the big explosive weeks. He was coming out of Missouri. It's crazy. He went to Missouri. Remember when he went to Missouri? Everyone's like, why is Luther Burden? The best prospect at receiver going to Missouri.
I think actually you're going to see him have a better NFL career than he did in college. I just think
for
the
sure.
system, and now with Ben Johnson,
was Bo Prabluba, who was the quarterback?
No,
there?
Brady Cook was there for a little while with him.
Wasn't it Bo there for a little bit?
Maybe Bo was there.
Bo's there now still though.
Yeah. Bo's a run first guy. So it's tough to say when these guys are in college, and that's probably the reason I had an issue with Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton at Auburn last year. Is you have this guy that Jackson Arnold that is a terrible thrower of the ball. And you got these 2 elite alpha receivers. Like, what are we doing here? Get a pass first quarterback and let your dogs eat.
Yeah. Where's Jackson Arnold at? Is he at Oklahoma now? No, that's who's that?
He could be at Oklahoma.
No. Who's that Jack guy that plays for Oklahoma? He's the quarterback.
Oh, the bet guy. He was a bet. He was a better too.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, he's huge. He's Jack.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm talking
John Mateer.
John Mateer.
Yeah, Mateer.
The boys, dude, the college quarterback.
Moneyline Mateer is what they call him.
Moneyline Mateer. Why?
Because he was betting. But I don't give a shit.
Was he betting on teams?
No, not himself. I think he's good to go. There's some things where in the zeitgeist was a little knowledge on that.
I wonder, what is the I guess you should be able to bet. I would say. I guess there should be because it's if everyone can bet, let them bet. Just transparency about not being able to bet on your own team. That should be it, right? Just don't bet against. It should be clear. It's there's a ledger. We can see what you're betting on. Go ahead and bet. You can bet Missouri. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not playing for that team.
Because all these guys, they have fantasy leagues. What's the difference?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So give me another guy that maybe you're lower on that you like that it's kind of coming down the board for you.
That's tough. I mean, I guess I was pushing up. Maybe this is just a theme. I was pushing up quarterbacks higher early on. I was drafting a lot of Herbert, a lot of Lawrence, I was getting some Joe Burrow, I was getting some Lamar, and I like those guys. But I'm just finding myself now as going a little bit deeper. Stay more. And I have a lot of Malik Willis is already high for me. But I think I'm doing more Malik Willis, C.J. Stroud, Daniel Jones. There's a lot of guys deeper down the board that I do like.
Yeah, and I think a guy. So, and this is where I've changed, right? So I was drafting a lot of Lamar Jackson early on.
I'm gonna go to some exposure.
And I've always avoided Josh Allen for the most part. Just waiting on Lamar, maybe getting Lamar's QB2 is fine.
Yeah.
And I've actually started pushing him down a little bit and just actually wait. It's not apples to apples, but just getting more Malik Willis late and even getting Zay Flowers because I don't think you need the Zay Lamar connection. I think Zay is going to be great independently of Lamar. And if Lamar runs a little bit less, I'll just wait 10 rounds later and just get Malik Willis there. So I'm happy with that. And like I said, I was getting Lamar, I was getting Zay, I was pairing with Mark Andrews, and maybe that's a good stack still. I just don't. I'm pretty adamant about just waiting on quarterback. I'd often just wait and just get Malik Willis as QB1, pairing with a C.J. Stroud, just a stinky, maybe get an Aaron Rodgers as well with a Pat Freiermuth. Someone I did draft a little bit, and this guy is pretty much off the draft board. We saw Darnell Washington. If you need a flyer in DraftKings, maybe 20 rounds is really where you want to get him. But if you're looking for a tight end, Darnell Washington could run the ball in a couple times this year. Darnell Washington, would you be surprised if Darnell Washington
They're running
scored
packages for him, yeah.
Would you be surprised if he scored 7 touchdowns?
How did he do last season? Let's see.
Nothing special. But he's an absolute mammoth. He's probably one of the biggest physical freaks in the NFL. If you don't know who Darnell Washington, he was at Georgia when they won the national title with Brock Bowers there, and he was kind of a slept on guy. But he's the perfect like jumbo set tight end because he's just gonna be absolutely running guys over, and he gets the ball rumbling downhill. Like forget about it. Good luck tackling him.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like guys. Like, there's really hasn't been too much I've moved down the board if we're being honest. Like,
well, I'll give you another guy that I've actually moved down, and I was drafting Jadarian Price probably at his high, and now he's falling a little bit, and obviously the news about Charbonnet being there is a little bit of concern.
Yeah.
So,
Cam Scatbo is a guy that I did like. He got injured again. Maybe I'm just getting a little sour in that whole Giants offense. Like, I think Malik Neighbors, like, he's looked good at training. I wonder if there's still gonna be limitation heading in even to week 1. So I think maybe the Giants as a whole team, I moved down. Malachi Fields apparently is like making a case for number 2, and I think he should be the number 2 there. Like, who else is available there right now?
do you know why Malachi Fields is making a case? It's only because he's such a good blocker. He's a massive human being. So like he's gonna get work because he's a great blocker. And I think some of the reason we like Trey Harris is because we know Trey Harris is gonna be on the field for the Chargers occasionally. But he's just such a good run blocker that maybe he's gonna get more snaps there. That's something else that I was reading this story about Jack Beck actually, and there's not a lot of news coming out of his highlights, but they're moving him a lot around because he's a very good blocking receiver. And sometimes that's what you need as a flyer in the late rounds, is a guy that's going to be on the field and maybe catch a touchdown on a broken play.
Yeah, I'm trying to think other guys that I maybe have moved down a little bit. I mean, I just like all the picks I've made. Like, there's really not a maybe. So my number one highest exposed receiver is Matthew Golden at 50%. I still do like that. I was drafting him because I do think he's a value there. But like, there's concern, right? He's going to be the number 3. Jaden Reed may split out on receiver 2 sets, which would be a concern. Golden, I do believe in the talent. He's a first round draft pick. They have to figure out what he's going to do there. So I feel like they'll use him. Matt LaFleur is going to want to air it out with no Parsons there because he's going to be hurt. I don't know if he'll even come back this season. The defense is going to be worse in Green Bay. I think they're going to be throwing the ball a lot more. So I still like Golden.
They should throw the ball more, but they do definitely work off the run, and they're a pretty slow team generally.
Yeah.
Someone else I've moved down the board a little bit, mostly because I moved Kenneth Walker so high. I just think that's going to be a run-first team. And I was really high on Xavier Worthy early on, and he's a guy that's really – you can't bet on health being unpredictable, but he's a guy that's just so small and fragile that are we sure – like, Patrick Mahomes is really not a good deep ball thrower, and it's like Xavier Worthy is going to have to live in that deep ball, right? Because you're going to have Rashee Rice.
I have a lot of Xavier Worthy. That's a good call. He's a guy, like, when I look at the ownership, that's a guy I'm a little concerned about. I think if he's healthy, though, he will have spike weeks in DFS and, like, best ball that will win you weeks, so, for sure. Because he's not the Rashee Rice where he'll go and have 7 catches for 20 yards. Because Rashee Rice will do that. He'll have 7 catches, 20 yards, and a touchdown.
And that's the thing about Rashee Rice that I don't really enjoy, actually. Watching Rice in camp, he looks slow, and that doesn't mean anything. But, like, are we sure, like, people love Rashee Rice, but it's because the Chiefs didn't have a run game last year. With Kenneth Walker, I just think, like, a lot of these short area targets, like, are we sure they're going to need to do that, you know? And Travis Kelce's still there. I know he's old as hell, but, like...
Looking thick, dude.
What's
the motivation for Travis Kelce?
Win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Cement, he's a Hall of Famer, and that's kind of...
Is he the greatest tight end of all time? Like, he's got to be, right? Like, I think people are going to put him in that category. I mean, maybe at his peak, not as good. I think the peak for Gronkowski is better.
Oh, my God, so good.
Right? Is he better? Was the peak for... I mean, it's
so
like...
good.
It's tough.
Remember even when Gronk went down to Tampa with Tom Brady, kind of came out of retirement, he was just a monster there.
Him and Tom just had a connection. Speaking of Tom, apparently Tom is like... They said, like, Tom's a villain personality.
What do you mean?
Like, there's just people that hung out with him. They're like, Tom is like, if you hang out with Tom likes to play the villain. Like, he's not like, I think that maybe that's why his marriage fell apart. But like, I guess it's kind of the attitude you have when you're a world class athlete. It's like, they're like, I think this is the Pauls talked about this. And they were like hanging out and they're like, Tom is not a nice guy. Like, Tom is not.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you said it because like Tom had a good healthy marriage with Giselle and like all the kids and everything's good. That's when he's playing football and he's away. He gets in that house. He's like, fuck, I don't like you that much. You know what I mean? Or maybe she didn't like him that much. I don't really know because she moved on pretty quick there. But it's kind of funny to note that. But yeah, the only thing I've always liked Tom Brady a good bit. And I was always rooting for Peyton Manning when he faced Tom Brady. I was always a Peyton guy. But I'm going to hate Tom.
Just more wholesome.
I'm going to hate Tom even more if Tom ends up fucking not letting Mendoza see this field.
Speaking of guys you should move down, Mendoza's one of those guys because I am just concerned that he may not play this season. Kirk Cousins is still like, if the O-line is good there, I think Kirk Cousins is going to play as long as he can. He's just not mobile. What we saw in Atlanta, like, he can throw the ball. Dude, he had like 450 yards in that one dome game. I think it was against the Saints. But he just can't move around the pocket. And like that, at some points, like that's going to hurt you. Mendoza's healthy. I think we could see Mendoza late if the Raiders aren't in it. I do want the Raiders to be competitive, though, because we have a lot of Raiders on our team. I think a lot. I was just looking through my ownership. It's like I have a lot of Raiders ownership. So
Yeah, and just like, and I don't, I have a lot of Naylor, I have a lot of Tucker, obviously I have a lot of Jack Beck, I stand, but it's like there's so much uncertainty there. If they're a good team this year whatsoever, like,
Yeah.
there's one of those receivers is going to be valuable.
Oh,
and
100%.
you can't tell me who it is right now. So,
Yeah.
and I obviously drafted, sometimes you buy the hype. Malik Benson, a guy I really did like coming out of college, getting a little hype there, but it seems like that's just, candy. It's just like maybe he's gonna be okay, but he's only a special package.
I guess if I had to choose, it would be Naylor 1 for me in the offense.
Yeah.
And then because Naylor and Tucker are going right next to each other, I just always default to the guy they brought in. We saw what Tucker could do last season. There was like spike performances, but he would disappear at times.
And Tucker's still valuable in that offense because he's going to run those go routes.
Yeah.
He's going to run the deep routes. And I don't think Kirk Cousins has the best arm. And that's kind of the reason I want Mendoza to start. Like, it's likely, though, that, if you have the Raiders stacks like we do, a ton of Raiders exposure, really what you want is you want the Raiders to struggle. You want them to score points but lose games. Because if they're losing games, it's going to be more impetus for Mendoza to get in there.
Yeah.
So, and that's really, you have to have 3 quarterbacks. If you have Mendoza on your team and you're drafting in best ball like I have, you're taking so much risk if you...
Oh, another guy. This is a guy. Quick golf break. Koyman he's on that hard par 5. He stuffed it 5 feet from 3-4, like from
The hard par 4. Oh my God, what a shot.
Tom Kim's got 28 feet for eagle too. So
Yeah.
one of those.
All right, come on.
So Deshaun Watson's the guy. Apparently, like it's like clear that he's gonna win the job.
It was funny. I want to. You mentioned that. It's funny because I watched the highlight and some guy made a catch for. It was a Shador bar, and like people were like, "Why'd you show that?" Because it was like the most underthrown ball ever. Like Shador threw. Listen,
I saw some comment. It was the same. They're like, you're better off just like handing the ball to him at that point. Go run up to it and hand it to him.
This is what I don't understand is like I don't hate Shador. I've never hated Shador. I don't care about the hype. I don't care like he loves himself and that's cool. I don't really give a shit. The fact is he's just not a good NFL quarterback.
No.
He's gonna hurt the offense.
Even in college, like he was just immobile. Like and yeah, dude, he was buoyed by some elite receiving talent. Like Travis Hunter led the charge there. To be honest with you, but if Shador starts, it's just because like that whole team is washed, right? The quarterback room is washed. Deshaun Watson is clearly, if he's got anything left, like this is the time to show. And I think they do have some legit like talent at receiver with.
And
Casey
something
Concepcion
about the NFL that is important, like Deshaun Watson, yeah, he was bad this year, but he's just such a good processor.
Yeah,
That's an important feature.
I mean, he was near MVP talent when he played for. Is that Thunder? He was near MVP talent when he played for Houston.
The chickens over here.
Yeah.
That's the thing you get about the North Carolina. You just always get these afternoon thunderstorms, which is kind of nice when it cools it off. I mean, the best time, just to be honest, man. Part of the reason I love football season is like Taylor and I hit the couch 1 p.m. We do our thing. We got the kids.
We stopped drinking for not stop drinking. We'll have.
We used to every Sunday.
We
It
get
was
like
like
2 bottles of champagne and just mimosas and get hammered. Watch, dude. I remember. I remember watching a game. I think it was Jackson was playing. I was like, "There's something strange," and Strange catches a touchdown down the field.
Yeah.
I like Brent Strange. Speaking of Strange, I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's a guy where like, dude, don't sleep on Brenton Strange. People are like, and that's the reason.
The problem this is the issue with the Jacksonville. I don't mean to cut you off, but they have so many good like players to feed in that offense, like receiver. They could. I think like they're gonna be a challenge in that division. The defense there's a question in defense, but like yeah, the issue with Hunter, I think Hunter's super talented, and like if he played for the Raiders, I think he would start at receiver and cornerback. But I'm a little worried about like I like Brian Thomas, I like Park Washington, but like.
And that's the problem, though. And I like Jacoby Myers. Don't sleep on Jacoby Myers.
Myers is
And
another
it's like
good-
that's part of the reason I just don't understand why people are drafting Travis Hunter. Unless there's injury there, like he's gonna run certain packages. But Liam Cohen came out and said, "Hey, he's gonna need to know certain plays. We don't expect him to know the full playbook." That's not good. That's
No.
not good if you want Travis Hunter because
No.
if he's only getting 6 or 7 design targets a game
No.
or design plays, like are we sure the ball's even going to him? Right. So he's gonna make the most of every opportunity. So I think once again we already talked about it, they need him at cornerback. So, but a guy that I do like is Jacoby Myers. I mean, he's still an elite receiver in my opinion. Elite is maybe an overstatement, but I think that offense is so good. I just think you're gonna want pieces of
Yeah.
him.
I do think, maybe speaking of guy I'm high in though, I'm moving on to a lot of Emeka Buka, especially now with Jalen McMillan out for, I don't know. Apparently, like, there's like no timetable for return. I'd like Ted Hurst as well, but I just Baker Mayfield's gonna have an FU season. They didn't get the contract done. It just feels like Baker should come out gunslinging. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm high on the Tampa receivers for the most part. I like Godwin where he's being drafted. I like
McMillan. I like them all. I mean,
McMillan. You can't draft right now.
is he done?
I don't know. It's just there's no timetable for a turn. I just to me it's like you leave.
He was a guy I did like though before he got
I
hurt.
drafted some. Yeah, I drafted, and I think he'll play this season. But like now it's like, oh well, I'll just draft Ted Hurst. Ted Hurst is. I showed Dylan some videos, but like they're using him in the Mike Evans role, especially in the red zone. I don't think he'll play. He won't play every snap. Like he could get 4 to 5 targets a game, but I do think he'll get valuable touches, more valuable on underdog for sure. Where Chris Godwin is valuable on best ball. I mean on DraftKings because Godwin is going to be the guy. He could lead the team in receptions in a lot of games, right? Over Emeka Ibuka. Emeka Ibuka is going to be more. He's got like the separation is not great, but like he's just a talented catcher. I think he's an elite talent at receiver.
He's a leader knowing what to do, right? Maybe all the skills are not as elite as we want in alpha, but he's gonna play that Z role and move all around the formation. So how the boys going?
Yeah, nothing yet. Harry Hall just parred. Hopefully Corbin can hit his.
And then we had I think Smalley's got 19 on his first.
Yeah,
that's fine. Play the whole best you can.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, listen, I love a good golf sweat though.
Yeah, I mean it's fun when you guys are. But Scorefest is better to sweat because you have a lot of birdie chances. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you want to be watching.
And it's in our obviously we live in North Carolina. And I love a home game.
If I could win the Wyndham Clark Championship,
the Wyndham. You keep
Dude, I
saying
can't.
Wyndham Clark.
It's hard. It's hard not to.
Do you think Webb Simpson hates that he named his son? I mean his daughter Wyndham. And
I don't know. But he won it 3 times.
Wyndham?
Webb Simpson.
I don't know.
I think he's won the.
I don't know if he's ever won the Wyndham.
I think he's won it 3 times.
I don't know if he's. Has he?
Look it up. I think he's won it 3 times. Yeah, Coyvin hit his 5-footer there.
Let's go.
You love those 5'10s are a little testy. Dude, look at these little chickens. Dude, they've been going back in the woods over there and just like sneaking around. Look at them. You see them running. Other guys, yeah. So like Emeka Ibuka, obviously we talked about him. Guys at the top, I'm still liking. People are souring a little bit on Amari and Hampton with Keaton Mitchell looking good. I just feel like that offense.
Another time to buy low.
I like Amari and Hampton a lot. He's just talented, big body back. What's a comp? I mean, he could have like an RB. Could he have the Austin Eckler receiver 1 season? I don't know if he's gonna catch that many passes. Remember, I think I saw some stat done. Austin Eckler won. He was RB1 4 years ago. How crazy is that?
That is crazy. So I'm pulling up when
Webb Simpson. I want to say I think he's won the tournament 3 times.
I don't know if he's ever won.
No, he has. He's won it at least once. I think it's 2 or 3 times for sure.
So I'm trying to pull this up. I can't see.
Yeah. Other than that, what are some other guys? Tom Kim still got 4 feet on the comeback. Bubba, come on.
He's won the Wyndham once.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he always plays well here. Maybe.
I just think he loves the courts, and that speaks to it. Like maybe he won it one of his early times in his career. And now
his comfortability. I think it fits his game well. He also says like any guy can win here. I hope. I mean, I don't want any guy to win. Hopefully that guy is Ben James or Doug Game. I'll take both of those outcomes this week. What are some other guys you're going though, Dylan?
Yeah, so I think you mentioned a lot of the guys.
I'm looking through some ownership. Tyler Algier is a guy I drafted a lot of. I have 40% in best ball.
And that's just purely only because he
goes so late.
And
you feel like he's. I mean, what is he gonna get? I mean, I think he scores in the 7 to 8 touchdown range. Is that 7 to 8?
Yeah,
that's the ceiling.
My
Probably.
favorite handcuff, bar none, is Tank Bigsby. Because if Saquon goes on, Tank Bigsby's a full.
I mean, more than that, and I do think Bigsby will have some role in the offense regardless of what Saquon does this season. I just, dude, there's something weird about the Eagles. I just don't. I'm not like I drafted Devontae Smith. And speaking of guys that have moved down, like Devontae Smith, like feels like going a little too. I liked him. I was like, oh, he's the receiver 1, but like, can he manage that role at that size? And like, how good of a passer is Jalen Hurts? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and the only problem is that exactly what you outlined. Like Devontae Smith's an amazing receiver.
Yeah.
And I actually think
he's a better number 2 in my opinion though. Like, I feel like he fits like, dude. To me it's like put him in like a Joe Burrow offense, a Baker Mayfield offense. I want someone to get air of the ball. What I've seen from Jalen Hurts is not like an elite passing skill set. So
yeah, talk about his battery mate there in
Mekhi Lemon.
No, talking about AJ Brown when he moved on is a guy that I've been drafting now is Dobbs, and Dobbs is a guy that I think could really thrive in that offense. Dobbs is a gamer too. We saw how all these receivers have a little diva to him, and he has a little diva to him in Green Bay there. But I think here he could definitely shine as a wide receiver too. I mean, definitely play that Devontae Smith role on the Patriots offense. So I'd be interested to see what kind of season he has. And just a guy that's going really late.
Yeah, a guy I kind of like is honestly in that same vein, and this is a receiver 3, receiver 4. Is Dontavian Wicks for the Eagles, Dylan? Like the reason I say this because like I don't know what Mekhi Lemon's gonna be. I think Wicks will still be involved. You have Eli Stowers there as well, but Stowers has like not made a big splash in camp. I think Wicks is a solid receiver. I like to play him in DFS last season, even for Green Bay in a deep room. He's gonna get touches, plenty of touches there. So Wicks is. But again, the concern there is like, what's the passing volume gonna look like in Philly. Like we just don't know. I don't know. Like is Jalen Hurts gonna be throwing the ball that much? I mean, the
He
defense.
should. With the new OC there, like he's definitely gonna be moving the ball a little bit differently.
Yeah.
It's just like, can we trust him, right? And Jalen Hurts is a guy that definitely looks to me like he's scared to run now. Like he's
Yeah.
not. He's a guy that like really his best season's gonna come when he's using his legs. So it's definitely gonna hurt. But it helps Devontae Smith obviously if he can sit back and go through his reads and take the shots. And Devontae Smith's a guy that can definitely win on deep shots. And you think he's a slender guy, not much taller than us.
He won the Heisman. He was one of the greatest college receivers of all time.
Let me look at like. What do you think? So Devontae Smith is how big? How do you think?
He's like 5'10", 175 pounds. I think that's 5'10", 170 pounds. I think I'm gonna be pretty close on that.
Let's see.
Do you think how close do you think? I think I'm like within an inch and 10 pounds.
Nice 6 foot 170.
Okay, on
So
the
very
way.
slender. So
Yeah.
really almost exactly our size.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit lighter than us.
Very light. Yeah, he is a little lighter than us. God, dude, that would be tough.
And what's funny about that is I was just thinking about that because he's one of the best guys as a contested catch merchant in the NFL. So I
Yeah.
kind of like that,
Yeah.
and that's why people always think you need these big body guys to be contested catch. I mean, look how good Antonio Brown was as a contested
Dude,
catch.
so fun. I feel bad. It's like you hate to see those guys fall off. Down the seat. Like it's like, I mean, you feel bad for the
Dude,
guy.
give him the
honestly.
peptides. Give him anything that
Yeah.
helps their brain, and
Speaking of guys that fall off, did you see Brendan Clark?
Yeah, OD.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, because I didn't realize he died. Remember, I was playing him in DFS. This was, I guess, back in May.
Yeah.
But you feel bad for those guys. It's
R.I.P.
like- yeah.
And R.I.P. Alan Nascimento, man. You never know when your time's up.
Yeah.
When your bell's rung.
I think those fighters have a particularly tough time though, because it's like you're pushing your body at all times.
It's not only that you're pushing your body; it's the recovery. And something you and I were pretty bad at early on. We're backyard athletes. We go really hard. We sometimes just like go nonsensically hard for no reason, because we're not training for anything. But it's like you start to realize how important recovery is,
It's huge.
and why not to live beside the substation at like in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I think it's all fun and games now, but like man, those guys are just. It's funny because that team's pretty injury prone anyway. So I just think it's happenstance. I
Yeah.
don't think there's any correlation there, but man, that's not a good look for the substation.
No.
But it's important. Like recovery is so important. Having these days where you really like dial back in your rest.
Yeah.
Like the grind is great, and it's great to be like getting after it, and constant movement is good. But also like the ability to sit and be in that rest state is important.
Yeah. It's just tough as a pro athlete, like Park Washington. He's like, dude, and this is what you like to hear from Parker is like, he's like, I'm in the facility at 5 a.m. every morning. He's like, okay, what do I do? Like, the reason like you can draft Parker is like, I think Brian Thomas Jr. is definitely more talented receiver. I think if Brian Thomas can like fix the drop problem, he could be a top 10 receiver in the NFL for sure. If he can find a connection with Trevor Lawrence. But I do think Parker Washington is a workhorse. Like he's a guy that will go out there and like he's gonna put his like he's put on some muscle this offseason. I don't know if that's gonna help him, but I think he's a guy that's gonna strap up the shoes and go to work. I think BTJ, the bigger battle for him is like between the ears. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely. Corbin is slight rough here on par five.
Does he go over the water?
As a Coivin backer myself, I kind of prefer the layup
Yeah.
and just hit it within 10 feet. He just
Yeah.
stole a birdie on a par par four.
That's true. That's true.
Play it smart. He's had a great day.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Where he's come from. So,
Tom Kim starting 300 through 5 is
giddy up.
Yeah.
Giddy up.
Um,
Thomas the Train.
yeah.
Dude, he's a thick cat, dude.
yeah, dude. You watch these golfers; they're not really like athletic.
No.
There's
There's some of that in baseball. Now we see these freak athletes in baseball. Man, baseball used to be like the Tubman sport. Remember Pablo Sandoval Panda?
Yeah.
Like, dude, he was
I mean, even a lot of the guys like Prince Fielder, you had like a lot of this,
so fun.
Yeah.
Prince Fair was just like he was so good.
I guess there's like and football has those guys too. The O line, the D line, like those guys aren't like.
Yeah, but those guys are far better athletes than most baseball players.
You think so?
Oh, without a doubt. What do you mean? I think so. I know
like
so.
you think like an O lineman is a better athlete than like a Mike Trout,
For sure. No, Mike Trout's a
or
unique.
like Byron Buxton or Ronald Acuna. Like Ronald Acuna, I feel like is an elite athlete. Like he can't stay healthy, but like I would still take his athletic prowess over a guy like
no, I mostly disagree because look at Darnell Washington. Like there's freak
Oh,
athletes.
there are, but I'm talking about these O linemen that are just like corn fed. Like they're not out there. I mean, yeah, dude, they're athletes for sure. But I do feel like, I think, I don't know, like, I mean, Jose Altuve, like at some point, like he's like a still good athlete. I don't know, he's a small.
That's
little-
a stretch. That's a stretch.
But I do think there's like elite athletes in it. Like, dude, Ellie De La Cruz, Onel Cruz, those type of guys.
Yeah, but we're talking about pure athletic ability. Like, put them in the 40, put them in pads. Like these guys are just. And NFL and NBA probably produce the best athletes.
NBA is by far. It's not even close. NBA. You also like think about this. NBA funnels. You have 5 stars. I think you have 10, 11 guys on your bench. Or like, I mean, what is the full roster? 14 guys. It's like not many guys. And like, there's like 30 teams. It's like it's very hard to get to the top, and those guys are the best athletes in the world. Like I would put those guys up against pretty much any other.
Yeah,
athlete.
as far
Like,
as pure athletic
yeah,
ability.
because they're all like, they're 6'10", can jump, can run. They have to run up and down the field. I mean, soccer players, cardio-wise, are great athletes, but like, you know, they lack some of like that physical ability. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's like guys that they're more like they're closer to marathon
the
runners.
mountain movers.
Yeah.
That's the reason you're sleeping on my O-line, man. They are mountain movers.
They're
They're
mountain
just
movers.
like absolute units.
Yeah. It's just like I wouldn't say those are guys that are pinnacle of health. And like, yeah, there are some athletic builds there, but
Yeah,
like,
but we know this. There's a trade-off between pure athletic performance and health.
yeah,
Right? Are we looking at longevity? We're looking
Yeah.
at the ability to perform in this
yeah,
moment.
push guys around on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a role for me. I mean, obviously, we're not big enough to do that.
Dude,
anymore.
Carson Beck throwing a hospital wall is not good for that guy's health.
Yeah.
But he gets up and he beats his chest because he had. Dude, that DB was like licking his chops. He's like, I'm about to light this fool
Yeah.
up. And these guys are all trying to make the team. What a good Hall of Fame game if you guys watched it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, preseason football is a shit show to watch, but
It's fun
like,
as a Panthers fan for us to win it, and like,
and Haynes King is so fun.
yeah, I wonder if he'll get signed.
I think what people don't understand is like these guys in practice squad, they're like, oh, they don't make much money. I mean, they're still making $250K a
Yeah,
year. I mean,
yeah.
that's good living. You
Yeah,
know,
it's great living.
playing football, you know, giving guys looks. Like, yeah, absolutely. You don't make the team, you're still living on the practice squad. You're
Oh,
happy
for
there.
sure, for sure.
But I think that's all I got for best ball today. You
Yeah.
know, anything to?
Yeah, nothing else. We'll sweat some golf, man. Let's see if Coy
Well,
can get there. Tom Kim's got 17 feet for birdie.
Nice. Let's go, Tom Him. We'll be back to chop up some best ball maybe tomorrow, and then talk a little golf.
Yeah,
You
I'll be
wanna
in
jump
St. Louis, and then maybe we'll sweat. Maybe we'll do like a late stream or something.
Yeah.
We got to sweat. Well, thanks for anyone who tuned in. We'll record this. We'll keep doing these basketball stuff. We're gonna be heavy into the football world.
We're gonna put a TV out here so we can watch. Because we can't directly stream the games. We can talk about it if we got to sweat.
Yeah,
on,
for sure.
late on Sunday, we'll
Yeah,
jump on
yeah,
and
for sure.
put the game on. So that'll be fun. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Awesome. Don't have to say bye to you right here, sir.